Despite crypto winter, large corporate brands like Nike and crypto companies like Rarible are doubling down on Web3. The number of smart contracts deployed on Ethereum have increased by 40% since the end of the first quarter, despite a 68% price plunge just this year, according to Web3 development platform Alchemy. Right, joining us now with more is Jason Shah, head of growth at Alchemy. Hello there, Jason. Good morning. So they said NFT is a bubble, but is it just a cycle right now? And if so, have we reached the bottom?
Well, that's a great question. It's great to be with you this morning. From our point of view here at Alchemy, where we're helping people build Web3, we see anything but a winter. We see all-time highs across all forms of development activity. We measure that based on how many SDK downloads we're seeing of development libraries, smart contracts that are being deployed, and dApps that are going live and being used by real people. So as a development platform, we have kind of a really great inside look into the ecosystem and a lot of the real product building that is happening that we believe is kind of why we're all here, to build a better version of the internet. And so while token prices or NFT prices are significantly down this year, as you mentioned, NFT volume down 88%, DeFi total value locked down 69%, we continue to see developers flocking to the Ethereum ecosystem, Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, Solana, and a number of other chains as they continue to build products that are solving real problems for people in the world and building the future version of the internet.
You know, one of the major companies in the world seems to want to make a play, and to the point that they've changed their name. Obviously, I'm talking about Meta. And it doesn't seem like the market's particularly thrilled with it. I mean, obviously they have other issues in terms of advertisements and their legacy brand, if you will, having some growth problems. But nonetheless, there seems to be a view that this isn't going to save a company like Meta going into this into Web3. Do you think that they are not the players that will make it in this world, or what do you think is going on there? Why do you think? Do you think it's justified that so much of Wall Street and the investing public is not thrilled with this?
Definitely. I mean, what we see is we actually see large kind of Web2 companies, large internet companies like Meta or Adobe or Stripe, who are all Alchemy customers adopting Web3 technology and beginning to make a move in the space. And we think that that's really promising. I think it's important to remember that, Facebook at the time was founded in 2004. It's an 18-year-old company. And so as it moves into Web3, these are still very, very early days from a product standpoint. A lot of the products that are being built are just starting to get adoption now, whereas things like tokens have been things that people could invest in for many years. And so from our standpoint at Alchemy, we think that there's going to still be significant growth for Web2 companies that are starting to adopt a lot of these new Web3 technologies into their platforms, as well as Web3 native companies like an OpenSea or ZeroX or Zapper, where they're kind of being built in a crypto native way to solve for new use cases. And as a result, we might see a world in which 5 years from now, we simultaneously have new crypto native companies that could only have been built with the technology that blockchain affords us, combined with Web2 companies that have now incorporated this technology into their products, either for creators to share NFTs, perhaps for loyalty programs. We saw that Starbucks is rolling out its program using Web3 technology as well. And so at Alchemy, we're very optimistic that despite short-term market reactions, that in the long term, we'll probably see significant adoption across all these platforms.
And Jason, when you're tracking this development activity, where do you see the most growth in terms of, is it NFTs, is it DeFi, is it elsewhere in the crypto ecosystem, gaming?
That's a great question. So we definitely see continued growth in NFTs, DeFi, gaming, DAO products, as well as additional infrastructure. Those are all areas that continue to see strong growth. We also see new growth in areas like social, wallets, identity products. So for example, recently we've seen kind of a continued growth in ENS adoption and products built on ENS, as well as products like Farcaster and Lens that are creating a really new approach that's not driven by an advertising model for social media. And so we're seeing definitely continued growth of those core verticals that exist within crypto, as well as new products that are then incorporating a lot of those primitives. So perhaps you might mint an NFT on the Lens protocol, but then actually use the protocol for engaging with other people in your community, new forms of social media that are only possible when the backbone of the platform is a protocol, as you have with things like Lens and Forecaster, as opposed to a vertically integrated application.
All right. Well, I see that there's an over 16,000 person wait list to sign up for less than a week for Alchemy University, which is a new platform you have for learning how to build in Web3. Very exciting stuff. Jason, thanks for joining us.